use the word chelation to your family doctor, and he'll make a face and say, bunk, baloney. That's because he's confusing cardiac chelation with metals chelation, which we just discussed, which is an FDA-approved treatment for heavy metal toxicity. So let's talk about cardiac chelation, which is not quite as clear a situation and treatment as metals chelation. The theory behind it is that certain substances, be it toxic material from smoking or diabetes or other types of artificial material, get into our body, irritate and damage the lining of our blood vessels, especially the arteries. The body responds to this damage by creating inflammation, which is the body's response to any kind of injury, and it lays down and deposits certain material, including cholesterol, as a protective layer. As time goes on, if the damage continues, the protective layers continue to be built up, and after a while you get arteriosclerosis, hardening of the arteries. Cardiac chelation uses the theory that by removing this toxic material from the body, you are minimizing the amount of inflammation. You are therefore minimizing and hopefully even reversing the amount of arteriosclerosis that can occur. And there's a lot of good statistics to prove that this is true. Now, traditional medicine says that heart disease is caused by diabetes, smoking, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity. That's true. It's very true. But interestingly enough, U.S. government figures state that 50% approximately of the new cases of heart disease and acute heart attacks that will occur in the United States occur in people who have none of these risk factors whatsoever. There is no obvious reason as to why these people got heart attacks. Interestingly enough, just this last year, the National Institute of Health completed a very long, involved study in which they were evaluating cardiac chelation. And in the report, it says that they were quite surprised by the fact that they did show some benefit. It's even more surprising because of the fact that the people who were studied were people who had rather end-stage heart disease. These were not younger people for prevention or protection. These were older people who had already had heart attacks, problems like that, where often treatment is not very effective of any kind because the damage has already been done. And yet here, cardiac chelation did seem to show some benefit. So who should consider cardiac chelation? I would say any person who has diabetes or a family history, any person who smokes or was a smoker in the past, or who has any chronic inflammatory problem, such as arthritis, colitis, dermatitis, the things that we spoke about before. All of these things are by themselves cardiac risk factors, and of course we'd like to do anything and everything that we can to avoid any heart disease. You don't want to be in that 50% of the people who were told that because of your clean living and nice lifestyle that you don't have any risk factors for heart disease, and then go ahead and get yourself a heart attack. If you have any questions, please feel free to call my office. I'll give you more information on what cardiac chelation is and whether it is something that might be of benefit to you.